Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going. Bite-Sized and Bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement.
All right, welcome. I'm Erin,
And I'm Tammy.
and this is Bite-Sized
Bite-Sized
and
and
Bossy.
Bossy. And today's episode is brought to you by Dreambox, the digital agency growing restaurant brands at wearedreambox.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, and we love Dreambox.
We
And
do.
we have an amazing guest today. So our guest today is Christine Specht, who I've been trying to get on this podcast for a very long time. And she probably has 100 LinkedIn messages from me, but she is the CEO of Cousin Subs. And I'm biased because I'm in Wisconsin, but Christine, welcome.
Thanks for having
Woo!
me. Excited to be here.
Well, Christine, tell us how you got here. I think you got to meet us in Wisconsin, right? So
That's
tell
right.
everybody.
There was a conference, Women in Hospitality, put on by the Wisconsin Restaurant Association. So that's where I was able to meet the both of you in person, which was super exciting. And then I was just standing there minding my own business. And then you both approached, and the rest is history.
It was sort of like this.
It was like seeing a famous person.
Aaron's like, oh my God, that's the CEO.
I was like, that's Christine. That's Christine. Like, let's go talk. Let's go. You go first. You go first.
And I was like,
I
just
love
walk up to her. Just what's the worst
So-
she's gonna say? No,
No.
we're not selling her anything.
No.
True. We were excited. So, Christine, for listeners at home that haven't either known a lot about Cousin Subs or you, can you introduce yourself to them?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Christine Specht. I'm the CEO of Cousin Subs. We're a family restaurant company. We've been around for 53 years. It was started by my dad and his cousin in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And we are primarily located in Wisconsin. We have 2 locations also in Indianapolis. But we sell sub sandwiches. And that's something I talk about all the time to my teams is like, we make and sell sub sandwiches, but we do it with the Cousins flair, right? So we're known for our bread. It's the hallmark of the brand. We are known for our indulgent sides that are wonderful, like deep fried cheese curds and shakes that are delicious. So we have just a really nice menu. We've just been part of the communities here in Wisconsin forever. And it's a pleasure and a privilege to run the company, of course, surrounded by a great team and terrific people. So I've been at the company since 2001. I started in human resources, which is really unconventional in terms of then that next step of running the company. But then in 2008, I took over as the lead of the company. And then from 2008 till today, I've had any number of titles, ultimately now just the CEO. So it's been, like I said, an honor and a privilege to work here. I love it.
That's awesome. I have never had the pleasure of going to Cousins. So next time
It's
I come
so
to
good.
Wisconsin, well, I'd love to make another little video.
That would be wonderful. I would love for you to come to Wisconsin.
Hey, if you want to
and make
buy me a
video.
plane ticket, we will make you a video.
Yeah.
We might have to make that happen.
Yes. I mean, Tammy, it's really good. Like, I already know all my kids have their order, right? Like, we do the meatball subs, we do like turkey and cheese. Like, we eat a lot of Cousins.
Well, I was excited hearing that there were shakes because you don't see a lot of shakes at sandwich places, to be
That's
honest.
true.
And they're so good. It's a gelato base, so they're super rich, super creamy. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Like
Do you
they're
get to go
so
to
good.
Italy and research those flavors?
No, but we do have a full test kitchen here at our support center. So I'm part of the menu development. So really anything that goes on the menu, I have to give my seal of approval, which is super fun. In fact, just this morning, right before this podcast, I was testing cookies. So the job definitely has its perks.
Let's
Oh,
be
well-
clear. It is like still morning and you're testing cookies. Like that's
It
pretty
goes well
phenomenal.
with coffee.
Right. Yeah. You get coffee, right? Whatever. I mean, the time we tested shakes, I'm not kidding you, there were like 28 flavors of shakes. We had little cups of, as like little testers. It was great. It's just wonderful.
Well, have you considered selling wine and beer?
No.
Because that would be a much more fun testing experience.
Yeah, right. Although we do have, we'll do happy hours here at the support center. So we have beers on tap and wine already readily available. So You
That's
know,
fantastic. Well, I read somewhere once that like 40% of CEO roles come from finance,
mhm.
and then another 40% come from ops, and like
Mhm.
10% is marketing, and the rest is all the other departments. So, what do you think has been like the key sort of difference for you as a CEO coming from the HR channel? Is there like more of a people focus, or like what makes that different for you?
Certainly the people focus. So, and you're right, it's so unconventional to have somebody coming in from HR, right? Because we're just always about the people, and
We
usually,
usually run from you guys. It means we're in trouble.
well, yeah, right. I know. Right. I've made my share of friends over the years, but then have had to say goodbye to many people as well. But always treating them with respect.
Of
But
course.
people. My personality, my disc profile, whatever you want to call it, will
Ooh, what
always
is
let.
your disc profile?
Uh-oh. You
I'm
just
I'm
opened a
um,
can of worms.
I'm like 100 I, right?
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So like I'll get things done, but barely, right? Like
Yeah.
the details are for somebody else. I just
Mhm.
have the bright idea. So coming from HR and from a people focus, I have placed a really big emphasis on making sure that people know how other people like to communicate. So we have disked the people here at our support center. I really try to grow that emotional intelligence because I feel like most problems come down to communication issues and how we solve for them. So I'm certainly not the finance expert, but I have enough emotional intelligence to say, you know what? I know where my strengths are, and I'm going to hire the best people that I can afford to compensate for all my weaknesses. And so, with that approach, I have an amazing CFO, an executive vice president who kind of does all the manages a number of departments, and I have a president who isn't a high I. He's a
There you go.
CD. So he dots the I's and crosses the T's while I get to look at the visionary and people side of the business.
That's awesome. I want that job.
Um, it's fun. I love it.
I mean, Tammy, let's be honest. You're the cross the T's person, and I'm over here like having the party, right? No, but
Are
like,
you kidding me? You haven't worked with me. When I say to my team, I have an idea, they all are like, "Gotta go. Bye. Hang up."
Yeah. Right.
all right. Being a Wisconsin-based company, obviously, I'm in Wisconsin, and again, bias. But like, what have you found is like the key differentiators and why Cousins has continued to succeed?
I would say that we're very authentic. So we live and kind of die by our values. So we're grounded, we're purposeful, passionate, and optimistic. And I think that we bring those attributes to the job, but it also really works well with Wisconsinites and the Midwest in general, right? I think people from the Midwest, tend to kind of have these, they're very grounded, maybe a little humble, and very kind of true to who they are. So I think Cousins really blends to that. We, like I mentioned earlier, we talk about the bread being the hallmark of our brand. We keep it very simple, even though it's obviously difficult and there's always challenges in execution. But it's something about the Midwest sensibilities that go right into our menu as well, right? So, no surprise, our ham and provolone sub is like the number one seller. Even though we have all these really exciting and interesting subs on the menu, people in Wisconsin like what they like, right? And so we keep
Yeah.
that very relevant so that we keep them coming back.
Well, you mentioned that this was a family business, right?
Yep.
And it sounds like it's your dad and his cousin that had started it. So, do you have siblings? Like, how did you, or does your uncle have, you have cousins? Like, how did you get chosen to run the company?
Great question and such an interesting start. So my dad and his cousin, uh, it's just myself and my brother. My
Okay.
brother's a franchise owner, actually. So him and his business partners have three cousin subs restaurants.
Oh,
So then
So he's
technically he doesn't report to you, right?
no, right. No, yeah, he's his own business owner, right? So, which is great. Yeah, I don't want that. Although
Exactly.
my husband works here at the support center. He's our
what?
Oh,
yeah, he's our director of development. So he doesn't report to me either. So,
But that would be fun if you
You'd
had to
have
be
to
like,
call
let's call
HR.
HR.
right.
And you pick up the other phone.
Right. Can you please come in here, honey? We have to talk. No. When he
Right.
started here, I made sure that he was not reporting to me for sure. I wouldn't do that to him.
He already
But
reports to you at home. So, I mean, same
kind
thing,
of, right.
right?
Yeah, my I decreases at home and my D comes up at home. to drive the
That makes
household. So,
sense. I mean, well,
mhm.
I think I was told once that when we become mothers, that our D starts to show up,
Yeah,
right?
right. 100%,
What
100%.
is the D? Because I use
A
that word
driver.
differently, and I would like it to show up.
Yeah. So it's like the driver, right? We're gonna
Oh,
it's like the taskmaster.
Like, let's go,
You're
let's get in the car, wear your shoes,
you're
right?
gonna get the job
okay,
done, even if you mow everybody over in the process.
okay.
Like,
I'm a D. She's right.
yeah. And the eyes are kind of like, all right, let's think about the people part of
Yeah.
this, right?
Let's
They're
have a
human
party.
beings.
Let's get everybody together.
Yeah. If we
Okay,
just talk
Erin,
it
you're
out,
right.
everything will be okay. Yeah.
Too funny.
So my brother, he doesn't work, like I said, he's a franchisee. And then my dad's partner, Jim, he didn't have any children that would
Would
have
he
taken
like
over
some? Is he still around?
No. So my dad's partner passed away in '07, and then my dad passed away last
Oh.
year. So
Mm.
Oh.
we had a terrific relationship. It was just great. He was such a mentor, and trusted me, because really, going back to why HR would actually lead a company that's so unconventional, and so he had to have a lot of trust, and he in me to say, like, yep, I don't think you know every single thing you need to know about the company, but I think you can lead the company. And those are, so he took a risk. And um, funny story, actually, when he finally retired in 2015, we had our big annual meeting with our franchisees, vendors, and corporate staff. So we were at this gathering, and he made his official retirement speech. And so then he announced that he was retiring, and then he brought me up on stage. And as I'm hugging him, he's like, "All right, Christine, now don't screw it up." But he thought
No
he was
pressure.
saying it like quietly, right? But he was always hard of hearing. So he like said it, and like my leadership team table heard it because they were sitting in the front. They were just dying. It was just hilarious. So it's
Well,
one of those things we'll never forget.
So
well, it
funny.
sounds like 10 years later you haven't screwed it up. How many
Right.
stores do you guys have?
We have 92 stores, so we'll
Okay,
finish
so
the year
you're
with 92 stores.
Are you
And
growing? Would you go outside of Wisconsin other than the one other
In
state?
Indiana.
yes, so I think that Cousins has a huge opportunity to be a regional brand, right? So again, as I mentioned before, there's these Midwest sensibilities that I talk about, and I think that there's something to be said for contiguous growth. You don't really want to just splatter. Where I should say, we choose not to splatter our stores just anywhere, because you just have distribution issues, support issues, things like that. So I believe that our future lies in stores outside of Wisconsin.
Mhm.
And while we'll continue to backfill certain markets within Wisconsin, we're pretty full here.
Yeah.
So with the two in Indy, I think there's a tremendous opportunity, obviously, to continue to fill that out, but then really to look at it and say, all right, where are we going to go after Indy, and what does that look like? So again, the sub sandwiches, it's a super hot product in the market. People love subs. Our and all of the big competitors of ours, they've either certainly have expanded to many states. And I think while
Mhm.
we're small, and I'm not necessarily looking to have 3,000 stores, I think we can certainly have a regional presence.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Completely agree. So when your dad tapped you and said, "You're going to be the next CEO,"
He said,
uh,
"Don't screw it up."
and you had a brother, had he talked to your brother about this? Was your brother like a hard pass, or was your dad like, "No, he's not even in the running"?
Yeah, and who's older? You or the brother?
My brother's 3 years older than me, but it was
Oh.
not even a question, because it just wouldn't have happened. My brother
Of
always
course
worked in
not,
the
brother.
he always worked in the restaurants, and he's very good with hands-on operations. So
Gotcha.
that made him a really great candidate to be a franchisee versus somebody who really needs to look at the business from a global perspective and have just a bigger vision. So, and there's no hard feelings. It wasn't like my brother was upset about it. He
So
wouldn't have
Christmas isn't
wanted the
weird.
job.
It's not weird at Christmas when he's like, "Oh, you're the CEO."
No, not at all. No,
Well,
no weirdness.
well, speaking of Christmas and family, so what's your story? What's your sort of personal life like? Are you a
Yeah.
mom? Are you married? Divorced? What you got?
I'm married, and my husband JJ is our, like I said, is our
Oh, yeah.
director of
Duh.
development. So he's been here at Cousins for, gosh, 10, 11 years. We've been married 15. We have two boys, 10 and 12. Super, super fun ages, because it's just, they can get dressed and take care of themselves. And then, we
Yeah.
can just kind of have fun with them. There's that level of independence, and I love that. And my kids are keenly aware, that, of course, of what we do, that that I'm the CEO of Cousins. And just the other day, my 10-year-old was telling me, he's like, yeah, Mom, because he's in 4th grade now. And he's like, yeah, when I was in 2nd grade, I would tell everybody that you're the CEO, but it's just not a big deal anymore,
It's
Mom.
not cool
I'm like,
anymore.
right.
My
Thank
son's the
you.
same. I have a 10-year-old son. I have 2 older
Wait till
girls.
high school when they start like wanting to eat at the restaurants all the time with their
Yeah,
friends.
but they still don't think mom's cool, right? Like it's
You're not cool.
we
You're
are
a
not
mom.
cool. So
Yeah.
what is it like? So I
Yes.
have girls and boys, and my girls are like, they don't launch themselves off of things. How are your boys? Is it like, hey, where are they? Because I find that like, I'm like, please get out of the pond. No, you can't be on the ice right now. Like things that I never thought I would have to say, I have to say to my son.
Yes, that would be definitely so for my 10-year-old. He is, and we have a small, funny you said pond. We have a small pond in our backyard. And this weekend, the boys had 2 friends over. Well, those 2 friends ended up in the pond, which is totally disgusting.
Yep.
And somehow my boys stayed dry. And so, yes, definitely for the 10-year-old. My 12-year-old is a little bit more of an old soul. And I'm just glad that he's 12 and he's like slowly catching up to who he really is, which is a kind of that 90-year-old grandpa sitting in the corner chair, kind of barking out like his one-liners, he's like this little old man. It's really quite funny.
I love that. I love that.
old people.
Yeah.
Well, what do you do for fun when you're not working? What's some fun in your life?
Well, it's so much with the kids now, running them to different activities, which I really actually appreciate. It's not a chore in any way. I'm an older mom, which is something that my kids remind me
You
of.
don't look that old.
Yeah, you don't look old.
Well, you're
No.
really nice. So
No.
I mean, I don't know if we should tell what our ages are
I'll tell.
So I'm 51, okay? And
49.
great, perfect.
What? Tammy, I thought you were older. Just kidding.
So
I'm making faces.
Because
Listen,
Erin, you're probably the baby of the bunch,
Yeah.
right?
I am the baby, yes.
Yeah.
At
Erin-
42. So
Ooh.
yeah.
But my
yeah.
kids are keenly aware of this, right? So they're always like, like you're kind of the old mom at school, and I'm like, yes, I am, but mommy's got brains and she's been around. So,
Well,
like it's not such a bad thing. But but where I was going with that was I really kind of appreciate that because I think I was a totally different person in my 20s than I was in my 30s. And I didn't get married to my late 30s, and then we had kids.
Mhm.
Now, my husband is 7 years younger, which is
Ooh.
super
Oh.
Get it,
awesome.
girl.
Yeah, so that's really great. I love that because he has energy to get after the boys. But I also have perspective and a maturity. So like when they talk about live in the present and so on and so forth, like I'm not just trying to pass the time and wait for them to get out of the house, right? So I'm really kind of treasuring this time because when they're out of the house, that means I'm in my 60s. So, like I don't want to rush that process either.
Well,
Yeah.
60 doesn't feel that old anymore.
Mm-mm.
50 definitely
No.
doesn't feel that old
No.
anymore. In fact, I was with my dad like a week ago. We were going to In-N-Out Burger, and I said, I never thought this is what 50 looked like.
It feels
It's
very
having a
different
great
when you
time.
break a bone now, though.
Yeah, right.
Like-
Don't fall. You got to be worried about the
Yeah.
falls.
I literally fell off a step and was like, "Oh, broke my foot." Like, great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And you do have to be more careful now, but it certainly has its advantages, and I would never have it any other way with kind of the ages that my kids are and the
Yeah.
age of me. And plus I can't do anything about it anyway, so why complain about it?
Well, right. So was
Fair
that a decision that you made like intentionally? Like, I don't want to have kids until I'm more established in my career, or like how did that decision point come along to have kids later?
Yeah. So JJ and I met when I was 31. And
Mhm.
so again, him being 7 years younger, he
Yep.
needed to,
So
like-
is oats.
yeah, he needed to figure it out, right? Like he,
They're not worth their salt until they're about 30.
right. We weren't planning
Fair
on,
point.
I mean, we didn't know, like we were, kind of set up. So,
Yeah.
So then it just happens, right? So when we dated for 5 years, got married, and then 2 years later had kids, and we just thought like, look, if God is going to bless us with children, that's what's going to happen. And if it doesn't happen that way, it doesn't happen that way. The great thing again about not being like 20 when you get married is that JJ and I both had our independent lives, and we were choosing to come together. We were choosing to kind of have a life together, and then we were able to have kids together.
Yeah.
So, but if that didn't happen, we would still have totally fulfilled lives, and kind of yet live in that same cohesiveness, but still have that independence about us. So, it's been great.
That's
And to your point-
unbelievable. And you said, what year did you become CEO?
Well, 2015 was the official year. I think I was like president and CEO
Okay.
before that, and like COO,
So-
You see,
Let's
that's why I
unpack this.
asked if you had other titles.
I'm doing I'm going backwards in my math right now, which not my strong suit. 2025, it is this year. Let's go back 2015. She said her boys are 10 and 12. That means you had 2 under 2 at the
I mean,
house.
she was pregnant when she became CEO.
And you're told now you're the CEO. How
Yeah.
did you handle this?
So, well, I had worked at the company for a while, and and again, I believe wholeheartedly in filling the gaps, filling my weaknesses with people that are stronger and better in those areas. So I had a great team. I have a great team now. So that makes things really palatable. But then truly and honestly, JJ is, my husband, but he's such a partner. We parent we're both hands-on parents, and because it is busy, I'm not going to pretend like, oh, it's a piece of cake and I do it all by myself and it's always easy and my kids are
Good.
perfect and I'm at the perfect weight.
Good.
I mean, it is not like that, right? But I have a great partner, and we work well together, and my team lets me, if I have to pick my kids up at school, right, I'm going to do those sorts of things because, again, being the age that I am, I want to take advantage of those times versus just having them, versus just waiting for them to grow up. So
Yeah.
it's a balance, but people, I have a great support system.
Well, I just would like to point something out to you. When you talk about JJ, your face lights up and you smile. And maybe when you go back and watch this, because you will,
Yeah.
I'm
you will
totally
see-
Googling JJ after this
you
to
will
see what
totally
he looks like
see
too.
what I see when you smile, and that we don't see that a lot. And what we have heard though from a lot of, especially the more senior executive women that have been
Mhm.
on the show, is that they really attribute a lot of their success to their partner in sort of feeling that support in that, and so it feels like I see that coming through with you and JJ. So
Yeah, we
I'd
talk
like to
about it.
meet
We've
him
been married
someday.
15 years, and we still say we're in the honeymoon phase. Now, I suppose if maybe you asked JJ that, maybe he might have a
Well,
different answer.
Yeah, well, hopefully his face lights up too, and we'll let him go on another podcast and talk about it.
Yeah, he can talk about it. But I'll tell you what, and people have always asked me, like, what's it like working with your spouse? Because some I've heard people give speeches and say, don't ever work with your spouse. I love it. Now, again, we're not working side by side,
Right.
every single day, but I love it because when there's big strategic decisions to make for the company, or even if there's like little problems, right? He knows what's going on in the organization.
Right.
So it's not like I have to back up, explain who so-and-so is. Like, he knows these people because he works with them. So that really gives him the foundation to help give advice and feedback when I'm looking for it, and maybe even when I'm
Yeah.
not looking for it.
Do you talk about work at home?
We do. It just, because it's a family business, it just completely collides. Those lines are totally, completely blurred, but that's okay
Yeah.
because I love the company. I want to see the company grow, and it's not. And there are honestly times where I come home and I'm like, I can't talk about work. Like, I need like 10 minutes to actually not talk to anybody. I'll be out in a second. So I just kind of go hide sometimes.
Fair enough.
So with cousins, you guys give back a lot from what I
Mhm.
understand. And so when you think about your give back and into the community, how do you approach that?
Well, the beauty about our product is that it's very portable. So so in terms of giving back, we can do things like supporting different organizations when they have an event and they're looking for food, things like that, because of the product is so great and so recognizable. but we also certainly give back with foundation money and with actual dollars. And it's from our Make It Better Foundation. And we support youth education, hunger, and health and wellness. And we love
That's
it
awesome.
because those 3 pillars help us to narrow down where we can focus our funds. It's not the largest foundation by any means, but where we really have found a niche is when we give money to smaller organizations that are local to where our stores are. And so we can really make an impact. So whether that's a women's abuse shelter, whether it's, a particular school for special needs children, whether it's an inner city school trying to grow gardens, we can really earmark funds that, while they may not be the largest dollar amount, can be a really big impact for those organizations. And I love it because it just enables us to really change lives one sub at a time. And so I tell my teams all the time, like, we make and sell sub sandwiches, and we have to make and sell as many as we possibly can because, well, first I have bank debt, so I got to pay my bills. But I reinvest in my employees through professional development and emotional intelligence training. We want to open new restaurants, but we also want to support the communities. And I can't do that unless we make and sell as many subs as we possibly can. So it helps people to get their minds around what the greater mission is at Cousins besides just serving a sub sandwich, because big deal, right? But no, you can really do great things with that.
How do you decide which ones to give money to? Like, I mean, because I imagine there's just so many opportunities. So is there like either a criteria or things you look for, like underserved communities or?
Yeah, we have a board, so it's an official. So the Make It Better Foundation is an official 501c3. So we meet quarterly, and our foundation administrator, she will weed out the letters of intent or the grant requests that don't fit in one of those 3 pillars.
Gotcha.
And but then the rest that do, it's decided by the board. Now, sometimes budget will come into that. So say if an organization has a $1 million budget for a certain project, well,
Right.
my $1,500 isn't going to mean much at all. We really try to do it with, like, hey, this is a project that's $5,000 just to get these kids to
Micro,
summer
yeah.
camp. It's like, all right, let's help that, right? Let's make that happen for these kids who may not have otherwise had the opportunity. So we try to do what we can to make maximum impact with the dollars that we have available to us. And it's hard. There's so much need out there. It's, sometimes we're giving away 4 grants and there's 40 applications to go through. So it's a lot. But we just, continue to plug away and realize we can't help everybody, but we'll just try to do what we can.
You're doing a great job.
Yes.
Thanks.
100%. So as a female CEO in our industry and restaurant industry, have you seen anything that you're like impressed by or had to overcome through your years as you grew through your position?
Yeah, that's a great question. So really sometimes it's overcoming my own self-doubt. I mean, I have a team that's amazingly supportive. I'm in other organizations where I'm in this leadership roundtable and there's 7 of us. I'm the only woman, right? And the rest of the guys, they see things in me that I don't always see, right? Because it's easy to just dismiss those qualities or those attributes that make me a good leader. But
you can say badass. You're a badass. You can say
Yeah.
badass. To make you a badass.
It's so hard, right? Because it's like, I don't like to toot my own horn because I think, it's through the collaboration. But I do think I've been given gifts of leadership. And then what I've tried to do is develop those gifts through, like I said, developing my personal emotional intelligence, really trying to be a strong communicator, really trying to be clear in what we're going after so that the teams can do their job and so that they know what's expected. And I think sometimes I feel like as a woman, I have some innate ability to read people, understand people, and stay connected to people in maybe ways that other people can't. So I try to, again, play on those strengths when I can. But it's, I haven't like, what I always tell people, or what I particularly tell young women who want to be leaders, I tell them, be the expert in your field first and then be the woman. Don't approach a job like I'm a woman and I'm also kind of good at banking, right?
Right.
Like, no, be the badass banker, be the badass chemist or whatever it is. And you just happen to be a woman and use your women's strengths to make you even better, right? But I think that we kind of sometimes have been taught to lean on this immutable quality that I'm not changing about myself and then just happen to fall into these roles. I think no, don't even let that be a distraction. Be the absolute best you could be excellent in your role.
Yeah.
Don't worry about your gender, but use the skills and innate qualities that you have within your gender to get you even further ahead. It's a nuance, but I think it's important.
I completely agree. And I think years ago, someone gave me an award for being the top female leader. And they said, and I was very grateful for it. However, I said, I'm the top leader. I'm the top leader, not
Yeah.
top female leader. Like, why do we have to preface that?
Because then they
Right.
can give out more awards.
Yeah,
Let's
fair
be
point.
positive.
Fair point.
And it's
But I hear you.
tricky because I totally respect, if I'm given an award that's female based, because at the same time, I think you have to raise one another up.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
you have to build confidences. So I think, there's studies that show women, they won't ask. They won't confidently say,
We
like,
see
I
that
think
too.
we should do
We-
that, right? So and I totally understand that. So I think it's a way to kind of help women to, when you see these awards, other women can think aspirationally and think, you know what, I could be there too.
Yes.
But I don't make that my first characteristic, and I try to tell my young women leaders, especially because I have a lot of them in the support center here or in our stores, like, just it's your skill set, and that's going to set you apart, and that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I feel a way too about some of the female awards, but yet I still put myself out there for them
Yes.
because somebody's got to sort of lead the charge and say those things. I got an award at Mertech in 2024, I think,
Oh,
for like women in technology and in
Mhm.
restaurants. And the award ceremony was like the last day. There was maybe 50 people in the audience. So I got a great trophy and I was super proud, but it didn't feel like other people cared. And so when I
Mhm.
went to the organizer and I said, really, like, if you want to make this a thing and you want people to feel like this really does matter, you need to put it in prime time. You can't
Yeah.
put it on the last day when half the people are gone. Like, if you want to make this a big deal and want to encourage more women to participate in this side of the industry, you've got to put it in prime time. So cheers to you for saying that. And I think I heard a little bit of imposter syndrome.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I heard it too. Yeah.
Sometimes, right? I mean, you're
Mhm.
always kind of like, well, am I doing the right thing? But then I have these really great peers who, I mean, most of whom are men, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, gosh, like, you're incredible what you're doing, right? Or people are like, I wouldn't want your job, so I kind of feel good about that. But
You
um
should. You're great. Like,
Yeah,
don't let
you are
anybody
a
tell you
badass.
different. You are a badass. You've got great confidence. We've done several of these interviews now, and we can just feel it coming off of
Yes.
you.
oh,
And
So,
Tammy
thanks.
just told me last week, she's like, "You're having imposter
uh-huh.
syndrome. Shut it down." Because
Yeah.
like we all do. I think we all have that. So
For
Tammy,
sure.
Well, Erin got a new job or something going on in her life where, whatever. It's just kind of quiet still. But
Mhm.
she was like, I'm having doubts about me. And I was like, you're being stupid. You are amazing. And so
Well,
find a pep talk buddy.
yes.
I love that. And it's true, right? Because I think we have imposter syndrome even, I would say, Erin, like, even as sometimes parenting, you're like, oh crap, my kid just went to the principal's office. Now,
Mhm.
like, am I not qualified to raise this kid? I got to keep him
I'm
on
not good
duty,
enough. Did I show up enough? Have I been
Yeah,
patient enough? Like there's
for
so
sure.
many things when
Yeah.
you lay your head down at night and you're like, are they sleeping well? Like we're past the like, army crawling into their room to like make sure
Yeah.
they're breathing. Now we're
Oh,
at the like, am I raising a good human?
yeah.
Well, let me
So
tell
I
you
think,
this. You listen, I don't have kids. So you guys are going to fuck them up in some way,
Hey.
just a different way than you were fucked up, right? Like,
yeah,
it is, which when you accept that you're going to do something that is going to cause your child to want to have some sort. My mom hugged me too much. She was always
That's what
around.
my daughter will say.
Right.
She's like, I'm not a hugger. And I'm like, come on in. Come on in.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And you know what? That's really good. You push her outside of her comfort zone, because otherwise she's going to grow up later and be like, my mom never hugged me. She
Right.
never liked me.
Right.
They will all have things.
Right.
Tammy, I think we have to go into food for thought.
I know. We don't have, because I was just enjoying our chat so much.
I know. I
Okay.
would have talked forever.
Food for thought. I'll ask, what is your favorite restaurant that is not Cousins? That is, could be independent, chain, whatever. Say something nice about another restaurant group.
That's not Cousins.
Not
Well,
Cousins.
there's so many amazing restaurants here in Wisconsin, and I would say though, my husband and I really love Mason Street Grill, which is a great steakhouse in the Pfister Hotel.
Yep. I used
It's
to
great.
market for it. 'cause
Oh, really?
I was the CMO of Marcus for a while. Like, yeah.
Marcus has done such a great job with all of with their properties, and what I love about Mason Street though, it's got a wide menu and it's consistent, so you know what you're going to expect. I'm not always one. We don't go out to dinner that often anymore, so we want predictability when we go, right?
Yeah.
Especially if it's just the two of us. So we love, yeah. We
And
love
the
that
like
place.
flatbread thing. Like, I don't know what you call it, but like it's like the best
Flatbread?
thing I ever had.
Yes, it's so true. It's so good. Oh God, yeah, right.
Yes. Yes. All right. It's my turn. I'm like reminiscing in my head. I used to eat there all the time. All right. So when you're what hobbies do you have outside of the kids and work?
So I play golf, and my goal is to play more golf, and my husband hears that every single year. And every single year I start off strong in May, and then it trails off. But one day, so oh my God, I'm gonna play more golf because I love it. It's so fun. I love to read, and so I'm super high energy and really out there. But if you can believe it, I need to be introverted for periods of time to recharge my battery. So that means reading. Right now I've been, I subscribe to Audible because it's just so much more interesting listening to something in your car. And I'm on the road a decent amount, just even if it's 25-minute rides here and there, but just then sometimes listen to the radio or Sirius XM.
I know a podcast that's really about 25, 30 minutes. You could easily listen to episodes in your car, but that's not a question.
So that's perfect because that's usually the time it takes to get to school or whatever, right? I love it.
Here's what I think you should do. You should listen to some of these podcasts and you should reach out to these women and network yourself. But
I should.
Let's just say you weren't born into the Cousins family. What would you be doing?
Yeah.
Like what would the younger you, what was her dream?
Yeah, well, my major was criminology and law studies,
Oh.
and I have a master's
Very
in public
different.
administration. Yeah, it's super different, right? I like seriously talked to an Air Force
DA.
recruiter when I was getting ready to graduate college. I didn't go that route, but I would probably, like law enforcement might have been just an interesting path, I think, to take. And yeah, I think that's probably it.
Okay,
And then you ended
I
up
have
in
one more when you're
HR.
done, Erin.
What'd you say?
I said I have another one I already thought of. So
No,
hurry.
go. You go.
Well, I was going to say, what's your favorite crime show? Because you must be one of those people that watches those crime shows. And I laugh at my girlfriends that are obsessed with these things.
I watch them.
Well, that's so funny because I don't actually watch crime shows, but well, oh God, I'm just gonna humiliate myself here,
No.
and I'll do it for you, ladies, because I'm so old school. But so when I was young, I would watch Murder, She Wrote.
And that's literally what came into my head when you were like, I'm gonna like I was like, she's gonna say Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah. So I am going to say that because it's kind of good, clean murder, right? And it's not gory.
Yes.
So if it's on in my house and my kids walk in, I don't have to explain why there's like some half-eaten corpse in front of me on the TV, right?
Angela Lansbury, right?
Angela
Yes.
Lansbury.
Mhm.
Yes,
And I
she was
heard there's
also
a
Teapot.
reboot coming, but I'm not. With Jamie
No,
Lee
it's
Curtis.
with Kathy Bates.
Oh, Kathy Bates.
That
Yeah,
show that's
it
already
looks-
on?
Yeah, I think I
It's on.
keep seeing it on my TikTok, not on my
Oh.
TV, but on my TikTok, and it looks really, really good. Like I'm also a huge fan of Kathy Bates too.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Okay,
So-
that's our next date.
Okay.
Okay, your turn, Erin.
I'm like, all right, I got sidetracked by this answer. I was so excited.
Me too.
All right, favorite workout.
So we have a gym at home, which I'm so grateful for. So I do 3 days a week of strength, so lower body, upper body, and then total body, and then I try to weave in 2 days of cardio, which is usually like a
Wow.
run walk type of thing. So
That's impressive.
yeah.
How
Well,
many
you know,
push-ups
when you
can
get
do?
older, that weight stays around. So
Oh yeah, it's not going anywhere.
know.
I have like a piece of bread and it's like you went up 5 pounds. I'm like, cool.
yeah, right.
I
Now
used to
try
s-
testing cookies and shakes, and it's like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to work out today. So
Exactly. All right. So
you
how
could
many
just
push-ups
hire a
can you do?
taster.
I can't though, because I have a sweet tooth that's ridiculous. So I don't want to.
Okay. Well, how many push-ups do you have to do to make up for it?
Oh, I can maybe squeeze out 10.
Ooh, well, there's a lot of people that can't even do 2.
Yeah.
So we're like, I think there needs to be a competition, like an internal cousins,
Oh,
like,
mhm.
yeah, like head to head push-ups, pull-ups, like old school gym time.
Yeah, I like it. I like
Well,
it.
I treat Jim like an ex-boyfriend, and I say he was abusive and he wanted to see me every day, left me in pain all
Yeah.
the time, and I just am not interested.
Not a big fan. Although
Mm.
I did love the parachute. That was always fun to sit under.
What's that?
Didn't you
Girl,
have like
that
in
is
gym
not
class
real
where you did the parachute
exercise.
and you all sat underneath it in a circle while it like deflated? No, just me?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess it's just me. Now I feel awkward. All
No,
right.
we did it too, but we did it like on the field with a big balloon and you're
Oh,
running
no,
back
yeah.
and forth, but it was not exercise. Let's be
Oh, yeah, it
honest.
was part of our gym class. That's why I liked
Oh.
it. And we did square dancing. Um,
I think
All
it's
right.
fun.
So our last question we ask every woman that comes on the podcast is if you could nominate one woman or women that you would like to listen to or see on the podcast, who would that be?
Well, I am so proud of the women that I get to work with here at Cousins. But, you know, Hillary Kreckling is our vice president of operations, and she was awarded as a woman to watch through the Wisconsin Restaurant Association just recently,
Yeah.
along with myself. So, I mean, I think you would delight in her. She's you know, she's younger and hipper than I am, and yet she's a real badass because she's leading. We have 1,000 employees, we have 58 corporate stores, and she's responsible for
Impressive.
them.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that is
Very
impressive.
cool.
You are impressive. So
Yes.
remember that.
Thank
Well,
you.
and thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I
Mhm.
know that you're going to inspire a lot of women out there as well, and probably some men too. So thank you for joining us today. Uh, Anyone at home, if you haven't liked, shared, subscribed, sent us a letter, anything
Gifts,
like that, please
messages,
do.
money.
Money, yeah, we'll take that as well. We like all things. You can ask for our Venmos. So thank you for listening to Bite Size and Bossy, and we'll see you next week.
Bite-sized and bossy, rising up the ranks, handing out encouragement, deposits in their banks. Inspiration coming at you like a river flowing. Women paving paths, look at them going.